What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Nerdporial Reviews Better Call Saul, Season 6, Episode 5. It's called Black and Blue. And with me is my returning guest, Steve, the Prophet of the Dragon himself. How you doing?
Hey, good. How are you? This one ran a
Yeah,
little longer than I thought it was.
yeah. It went additional. There was an additional scene that I was like I was keeping my fingers crossed. People were thinking that Lalo was not going to show up until episode 6 of this season. And I was like, because here's the thing. Usually, when a character doesn't appear, if they don't, you don't see them in the previously and stuff, because they
Yeah.
show what the storyline's going to lead into. So they didn't show Lalo doing his thing, but that was I thought maybe that's a deception and stuff. So hey, we got it,
Yeah,
and
right. There you go. Yeah.
I'll be and like without screaming when I take my notes and stuff, I write when I get surprised, I write in all like capital letters and exclamation points when something I didn't think would happen happens and stuff. And this episode has plenty of it. So
Yeah,
us
I was on the thinking. I didn't think Lalo was going to show up, but hey, pleasant surprises, right?
so yeah, so if you're here and you haven't watched the episode, there's gonna be spoilers, so I tune out now. Tune out now and watch the episode. So but welcome. I'm the Nerdporial Lifeform. If you haven't been here before, and I'm a weirdo that calls myself this.
Admiral. Admiral.
Yep, that's me, Admiral. So hey, welcome everybody. So we're gonna dig into this episode. So are you ready? You ready, Steve?
I am ready, sir.
All right. So we get this opening segment. We go into this opening segment. Of course, we see someone pouring liquid in, and then we see like it looks like glass or something transparent, being formed and stuff. And then I thought, okay, this is meth. Is this a Breaking Bad flash forward and stuff?
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
And they're playing this song "In Still or Knocked." I used my phone to identify the song because once again with this show they play songs I've never heard before. So "In Still or Knocked" is the name of the song, and it's by Pink Martini and the Von Trapps. And if you don't know who the Von Trapps are, if you ever see the movie called The Sound of Music, well, that family is called the Von Trapp family. So I'm assuming they were named after that family and stuff. So. And I'm not a
I
big
think it's
Rodgers and
probably.
Hammerstein fan either, so
Well, yeah. Once again, you amaze me with your researching knowledge skills.
well,
That's over my head.
I know something about Rodgers and Hammerstein because my mother's a big fan of The Sound of Music and stuff. So, and of course,
Gotcha.
Directed that movie, the same guy that directed Star Trek: The Motion Picture, Robert Wise.
There you go.
So, but yeah, so they're playing that song, and we see that there's this little measuring device. What's weird is I wasn't sure what the measuring device was, which is kind of embarrassing for me because I should know that. But
Well, it looked like a
yeah, so
thermometer at first. I wasn't sure. I couldn't tell.
yeah, and we see here in the chat, Tom Forsyth says, "I've poured acrylic before, so I recognize it." Okay, yeah, yeah, that's okay. So that's what it was. It was acrylic that they were making. So, and Judo Joker agrees. He thought it was Gale making that. That's what I thought too.
Yeah, I thought
Either
it was
that
too.
or
When they
either
started
that.
heating it and the bubbles disappeared, I'm like, oh, that's acrylic. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, and so because like they revealed that Jesse and Walt are going to be in this season in some capacity, so I was thinking maybe this is it, and then no, it wasn't. It wasn't it. It wasn't it at all. We just see this thing, and it's called In Liebe de Jung, not Jung, de Jung or de Jung, In Liebe de Jung or something German, Deutsch, and we don't know what it means because that's one thing I like. There's a little bit of mystery in the scene. Like they show him making it. You're like, what is this? That's the thing that I'm asking myself. Like, what is this? What is going on? What are they doing and stuff? And then they go into the credits and stuff. And then yeah, so I was just like, I wasn't sure if they were gonna pay it off in this episode, but they did. They did
Yeah, it
pay
came
this
full
off.
circle. It was nice to not sort of it was a pretty self-contained episode, which was good for me.
We'll talk about that when we get to the end. So, yeah, that was I thought that was pretty interesting. Now let's go into the first scene. So Kim and Jimmy are back at their apartment, and Kim, it's 3:17 a.m. in the morning. Now, Kim, like last episode, learned from Mike that Lalo is alive. So she's scared, despite the fact that she told him off and stuff, and he left and stuff. That doesn't end the fact that she's afraid of him and stuff. And
Yeah,
she gets up. She not only peeps out the door another time, but then she takes the chair and then wedges the chair underneath the doorknob and stuff. That's how scared she is. That's how concerned she is about.
Well, I got a little chuckle as Saul walks out and doesn't even skip a beat. So I was like, at that point, I'm like, did I miss something? Did she maybe tell him off screen or something? And of course, we find out real quick. Nope, that's not the case. He's just scared, even though he is dead. So it's more proof to the point that she's made of some better stuff when it comes to that.
And
aspect.
you find out like in his mind that he's not. You find out that he's happy he's dead. He's happy Lalo's dead because he didn't. I mean, let's be honest. Like Jimmy didn't go and sell himself to the cartel. They kind of just kidnapped. They literally kidnapped him and forced him to represent him. Only reason was because he knew Nacho.
Yeah,
and he helped.
He was.
And he helped with Tuco. He helped with Tuco and Mike. That whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it initially, he was totally forced into it. Not that he's not now deciding, pretty much on his own accord to go
I mean,
forward
he
with
made
it.
money off of it, but still, I mean, even he knows, I think this is even too far for me. This is something I don't want to do. I don't want to have to, look over my shoulder, for the rest of my life and stuff.
Yeah. Now what's he doing?
Yeah. So I want to mention this. So Judo Joker, welcome, all you guys here, welcome. Judo Joker says he took 3 years of German, and it translates to "with love, your boys." So okay, so that was a gift to Warner from his boys, the men that worked for him and stuff. So yeah, so I was not sure how this storyline would come back, but it came back from season 4. I wasn't sure how it would come back. But you know what's funny? There were some people out there, and if you guys predicted this, you guys are awesome because I didn't even think of it. Some people predicted that Lalo would go to Germany.
Yep. We talked about it last stream.
And but the thing was, people thought he was going to look for Kai.
Well, I think I would assume that's his next destination is tracking down the boys, so to speak. First stop was the natural, place was the widow.
I didn't think we'd ever meet her. So
I didn't think so either. But he was grilling her pretty good without grilling her. I mean, we're at the end of the episode here, but
yeah, I know.
It
was because we just watched it. We're just we're recollecting from that. So okay, so let's go back to that scene with Kim and Jimmy. So, but yeah, Jimmy feels guilty about Lalo and stuff. He feels guilty that he brought him into their life and stuff. And of course, like I said, he's happy Lalo's dead. And Kim does not tell him. Tell him what Mike told him and stuff.
Yeah, stone-faced. Glad he's dead.
Yeah, dude. So that ends that scene. And then the next scene, we are in Gus's office. And we get a good look at Gus in this episode. Gus is scared.
He is pooping his pants. He is.
Yes.
Oof. Yeah.
Like
he is not in a good state.
I mean, we see him in Breaking Bad doing this. Like he literally walks into the snipers, crosshairs and stuff. And this is like the one time that this is the one time I think we've ever actually seen him scared because he's usually stressed. Always well composed, and of course he's trying so hard to hide it, but
well, I think just the whole him at the cash register just speaks to how freaked out. I mean, everything goes, you can't. He starts not hearing anything, and then he's shaken by the pans dropping, and then all of a sudden he's outside freaking out. It's like, man, he is not okay.
Yeah, and but here's the highlight of that scene. You know who we got to see again? We get to see Lyle again. Remember Lyle, the manager?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the best, most loyal manager on the planet, dude. That dude
Yeah.
must get paid so much money as a manager of that place with all the BS he's got to put up with. I'm sure he
Yeah,
goes home and was like, my boss is freaking crazy.
yeah, like he's like, yeah, for like first, I think we first meet Lyle in season 3, with when Hector comes in with Nacho and his men and stuff, and they start they start intimidating the customers, and then all the customers try to leave, and the customers
Yeah.
all end up leaving, and it's all because this was after Mike did his thing with the like he sabotaged Gus's Mike sabotaged Hector's line of his supply line, so to
Right.
speak. With by shooting remember the shoes, he throws
Yeah.
the shoes up into the
Ingenious
onto the
plan,
cable,
yes.
and then he shoots the drugs out of it, and it sprays onto the truck and stuff, and then of course the dogs pick it up, and then they get in trouble with the border patrol. So we see him then, and then of course there's a point where Gus is so pissed because he's gonna have to burn. I don't know if it was because he's gonna burn down the the chicken place, and he makes Lyle like scrub like repeatedly.
Yeah,
He's
it
like,
was. That's what it was. He was because Lalo
the
was
fryer.
sabotaging his drops, and
Yeah.
he had to give up, and he was just sort of waiting for the call.
Oh, that's
So
right.
So it was partially cover for a reason for him to be still at the at El Pollos Hermanos, just waiting for a phone call. He was basically making a Lyle part of his cover by saying, "Hey Lyle, you can't you got to keep cleaning. This is garbage." Uh, and
Yeah.
then so it was poor Lyle.
But yeah, Gus is just walking around. He's checking everybody's work. He helps at the register. He puts on a happy face.
Oh yeah.
And then of course then he walks outside, and he's just looking around like with the bug eyes and stuff, and like, where is he? Where's Lalo and stuff? Everybody's
Freaked
wondering.
out. Yeah.
What's funny was because what's great about that was we felt that too. We're like, where's Lalo? Because he's been absent ever since the premiere, ever since the
Yep.
first half of the premiere.
Just
So
waiting
we're
for
like,
him to pop out and be like, "Ha ha!"
haha,
with that smile of his.
I love
Come
that
on,
build
man.
up. That build up makes this work and stuff.
Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
really appreciate this from the writers and stuff. So, but yeah, that this was a pretty. This until the end. This was a pretty bare bones episode, but that there were some developments.
Yeah, I think it was definitely another filler one. I think somebody said in the chat it was
Build up.
acceptable. Tom said it in the chat.
The episode
Acceptable.
was-
It wasn't like a banger, but we got Lalo in there, so we know what's gonna obviously that's gonna ramp up here real quickly. So we got a little taste of Lalo for the next episode. He's gonna be
Yep.
full tilt, I would expect, next episode.
Let me see if I can do my Gus Fring. The episode was acceptable. Okay, that wasn't good.
2 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, so let's keep moving. So we're now on to Davison, Maine. So Davison, Maine. Well, not quite Davison, Maine. Sandpiper, but we see Aaron, we see Cliff, and we see Howard there. And Aaron is basically telling the residents that they are in Discovery, where they're exchanging additional information and stuff. I don't know anything about law. I just read up on Discovery. That's basically when they exchange, whenever they get like new evidence, they have to share it with the other part, with the opposing counsel and stuff. So where they're talking about that. And one thing there was a nice little development with this. I loved how the elderly were getting a little antsy about this. They're like, hey, come on. You're really going to keep this? You're really, because the lawsuit, I think, has been over roughly a year now. And they're like, come on. Like, I mean, we're elderly. We're on borrowed time as it is, I mean, that's why we're in these nursing homes. And you're going to make us wait. How long are you going to make us wait? And, of course, Howard comes in. And Howard basically says, Howard comes in, he puts on his, he puts on his salesman pitch, and he's like, it's not about the money. it's about the people. It's about I was thinking he was going to say it's about the principal and stuff. And of course, he manages, to convince him. He sells like Jimmy told him in season 4 or something. He's like, go sell yourself, do it, And that whole time, Cliff is just looking at him because, last episode, Cliff witnesses Jimmy as Howard throwing the prostitute, throwing Wendy out of the car onto the street with the in the Namaste license plate and everything. So Cliff ends up confronting
him. Yep.
So yeah, I'm at the part where we're talking about Sandpiper and how the elderly
the Sandpiper meeting. Okay.
Yeah. So I loved how the elderly felt that it was the elderly felt that they're like, really, how long are you going to be doing this for? I mean, we're not here forever and stuff,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be my stance if I was one of them. It's like 30%. How about you just pay me now? I could be dead in a year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these are people in nursing homes.
It's
people
funny,
in nursing
though.
homes
Yeah,
are generally sick.
Yeah, so sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you, but it's funny how I think Jimmy, when he was pushing that, even though he was doing it for selfish reasons, I do think he was probably right. Them getting money now is more beneficial than them getting an extra, few $1,000s, and half of them might be dead, So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're like bringing up, maybe we should get our own lawyers and stuff. They're like, you could do that, let the next generation step into this and stuff. And I was just
I think it's like I think that's natural in any large class action, especially that's going to take time. Is you're going to have people that are just like, I'm gonna get my own lawyer because I just want money now. So
Yeah.
that's got to be a tough job keeping everybody in a class action, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. Elderly people are on a fixed income and stuff, so they're like, just come on, how much longer is this going to be?
Yeah, I mean, if it was 50 grand for anybody there, their life would be so much more enriched. Would be ridiculous. So, yeah,
I want to read this. This is a great comment right here. Judo Joker says Howard Hamlin's charisma is a side we don't get to see from him much. So much respect to Patrick Fabian's performance. I agree. This was really, to me, besides Lalo at the end, this was pretty much Howard's episode. Howard finally got his own episode.
I think so. Yeah.
So it was nice to see it because Howard's always kind of pushed to the side and stuff.
Yeah, he's always around and
he's he's part of either Chuck's story or he's part of he's either second fiddle to Chuck or Kim or Jimmy.
Yeah, I'd almost say he's taken for granted because great performance every time, and I'd say taken for granted is a good way to put it because just dependable and always puts in a good performance, and you're always entertained by him. I think the cool thing is you sort of always know what to expect from Howard, and that he's sort of turning that on his head right now, being a little bit unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. And I love and so while this whole thing's going on, Cliff is just looking at him because you remember last episode, Cliff, is with him and he witnesses, not Jimmy, but he witnesses who he thinks is Howard. Jimmy as Howard throwing Wendy out of the car.
Jimmy as Howard, what, part 3?
Yeah, and I loved their little talk. I love their little talk after this. So, he says, yeah. What did I write? Okay, I said, yeah. He literally says Howard literally says it's not about the money, it's about the people and stuff. So, yeah. I thought that was great. I even wrote the quote down. So. But basically, once again, Cliff, confronts him. He's like, I think you did it. I saw you. I saw everything. This is all, adding up and making sense. And I love how Howard just right away puts 2 and 2 together.
Oh, immediately.
Because the first, what does he ask Cliff?
Who are you having lunch with?
Who are you meeting with? He's like, Kim Wexler. She was asking for some career advice. Yeah. And then he figures it out. He's like,
I don't have a hooker problem. I have a Jimmy problem.
I have a Jimmy McGill problem.
I have a Jimmy McGill problem.
And then he walks away. He gets into his car and he calls his secretary. He's like, Hey, cancel the rest of the week.
Well, I mean, and I'm very curious. I don't know. I think I know we've been sort of doubt. We're playing this who's gonna make it, who's not gonna. I don't know, but Howard may be getting himself into trouble having Saul followed. That could end up biting him in the ass eventually. Just seeing something or getting some info about something he shouldn't be getting info on. But I did find it funny. I think it might bite him in the butt with Cliff because I don't think Cliff believes him at all.
Hmm.
I think he thinks he's mega in denial.
Yeah, that might be that might be the case. Maybe like remember I just saw this now. This kind of mirrors with Chuck. Remember Chuck? Remember what Jimmy did to Chuck in season 2? Remember how he doctored the documents, changed
Oh yeah,
the changed the numbers and the address around and
absolutely.
stuff. And then of course what does Chuck do? He knows it's Jimmy. We
Yeah,
know it's Jimmy, but nobody believes. But the thing is, it gets to the point where nobody believes Chuck.
right.
And so Chuck does his own little he does his own little con on Jimmy, and that's what leads to chicanery. But
Yep.
Jimmy manages to pull the wool over him.
Yeah,
I'm thinking this is kind of they're repeating this with Howard this time.
it seems like it, and I think I don't know. Do you think all the private eye is part of the plan? They sort of anticipated that.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
I
he
think so.
absolutely
Yeah.
did anticipate that because we're getting ahead of ourselves, but
Yeah. Sorry.
like but yeah, I want to read this really quickly.
Yeah.
Judo
Of
Joker
course.
says, "I like how Cliff confronted him. It was as a caring friend, not confrontational." And Howard immediately knew who's behind it. Yes,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yes, yes. So I'm thinking that they're gonna do. There's something gonna be similar happening with Chuck, but I think this is gonna be worse than what they did to. Well, it's gonna be way worse than what they're doing to Chuck. What Jimmy did to Chuck and
Well,
what Chuck did to
I'm
him and
wondering
stuff.
if maybe they actually, I mean, I don't know if you could say inadvertently caused Chuck's death. I guess they did because he killed himself in the end. They destroyed him, but he killed himself. I'm wondering if this one, like you're saying, is going to be a little worse, and I'm wondering if this time they might be directly the ones that cause harm to Howard. That would be an interesting twist.
That would be a very interesting twist and stuff. Tom Forsyth brings up another interesting thing. I love the alarm clock spelling out lie at the beginning. Yeah, that was weird. That was a weird little thing. That was a weird little thing. So yeah, I think yeah, Howard's. I can't wait to see where the. I really can't wait to see where this goes. I hope they wrap this up soon. I I
Yes.
mean at least because I hope this gets wrapped up in something. I don't know. I'm curious if it will get wrapped up by episode 7 and stuff. I'm wondering if that or Lalo gets wrapped up and then they just basically have to tie all the other loose ends for the second half of the show. I'm kind of curious now what they're going to be doing with
I
that.
would
So
think the Howard stuff will be wrapped up by 7. The Lalo stuff, who knows? But I mean, it's like two different stories. You got the Lalo Gus storyline and with Mike, and then you got the Hamlin and the with the Kim and Saul storyline going. So at some point they have to collide. You would think. Uh,
yeah,
I guess we'll just see when that's going to happen. Maybe that's what happens at episode 7. Something happens, and we all end up in the same path, and that's what the second half of the season it picks up when it comes back off hiatus.
yeah. It'd be funny if that's true. Like they maybe the PI runs into Lalo. Who knows at this point? Maybe they all come together and stuff. Maybe there's a big fight at the end. What I'm hoping from growing up with watching all these cartoons and growing up with fighting games and boss fights and stuff. I want to see a Gus versus Lalo just
I
fight.
just want to see a throwdown in
Just
the
like
Pollos Hermanos parking lot. Just
with the box cutters, yeah, box cutters or the bag and stuff with the zip
yeah,
ties. See
yeah,
who
there you
kills
go.
who first.
They're
Because
just gonna form a circle. All their cohorts can form a circle around and be like, "All right, let's get this done. Let's do it."
yeah, I mean, I mean, we don't know much about Gus, but I think Gus knows how to fight. He knows. I think based on what we've seen, he knows CQC and
Yeah,
stuff. So,
yeah,
and of course, we've seen what Lalo's capable of too. Like
of
he's
course.
like a freaking supervillain and stuff.
Yeah, he surely is, and I love it.
And we got to see a little bit of it. We got to see a little bit of his, his stealth in this one. So
Yeah, his swagger too. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
yeah. So okay. So we're on scene 2 now. So scene 2. We see Francesca again for the first time since season 3. So
Yes.
they got rid of her because they were moving out of the building, and Jimmy was no longer practicing law, and Kim was working full time at Schweiker and Coakley and stuff. So she comes in, she sees the clientele, and we're starting to see Breaking Bad Francesca. Like, she's not the sweet woman that we saw in season 3 and stuff.
It's very funny. She likes Kim. She asks about Kim. She obviously has a it's like, okay, well, this is a job. I don't really like you though, but okay.
Yeah, it was interesting.
That's how I
because
took
it was.
it.
Yeah, she did. I'm guessing she didn't like him or something for some reason. So, but yeah, it kind of made you see, like, maybe Jimmy was wrong, because I mean, Kim literally says maybe we should look at other people, better candidates and stuff. Because
Yeah,
you're kind of
that's true.
seeing who she actually is, and then she's like, I'm not taking this job and stuff. Now you're seeing the Breaking Bad version of her, and he ends up bribing her. He ends up bribing. He offers to double her salary from the DMV or
Yeah.
whatever that was, and he gives her a sign-in bonus, just hands her cash and stuff, which seems to be the thing between those two.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah.
yeah, and yeah, so it was like, yeah, she obviously didn't like it. Oh, she's like, oh, I also am gonna do interior. I'm gonna have a say in the interior decorating too. I was like, oh, okay. So
Yeah, she's making herself right at home. So
yeah, she didn't like. She's like, I don't want to work here. Like, this place looks like shit. That, there's a toilet there. There's a toilet in the middle of the room. There's a toilet in the middle of the room, and there's all these criminals, all these shady people all lined up outside the house. Like, she's like, what happened to the elderly and stuff? That was another big thing too.
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
what happened to the elderly? He's like, oh, I changed things.
Yeah,
She's like,
I'm
you're
now
Saul
friend-
Goodman. He's like, yep, I am to KFC is to chicken what Saul Goodman is to law. I love that analogy.
Yeah, it was really good.
So yeah, that was great and stuff. So maybe we'll have to see. We'll have to see what goes on with that. So, so let's move on to the
I
restaurant.
did want to say quick. I like Judo Joker's prediction there. I don't know if you saw that comment. I think he's dead on. I
one?
like that prediction. There it is. You got it.
Here's my prediction: Howard's PI is going to catch the attention of Mike and Gus. Yeah, because the PI is. I mean, obviously the PI is following him, but Mike and Gus are following him too. So they might think he's Lalo, or they might think he's sent by Lalo. That's an
I
interest.
think
That's
that's
actually
dead
a
on.
really good prediction. Now that I think of it, they're gonna think it's Lalo, and hilarious death, chaos, destruction will ensue.
Yeah.
Oh no! And maybe
Unless,
maybe
Howard's-
Howard will meet Mike. Maybe Howard will
Well,
meet
yeah,
Mike.
I think it could. That's what I'm saying. I think Howard might be a little bit more in danger than we think if they think he's somehow connected to Lalo. I mean, that could be a problem for Howard.
Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. It would be hilarious if that was the case. And then now what, Trio Joker? I hope it happens now.
I do
hope
too.
It happens.
It'd be great. I want it to happen. Just like
if it
that.
happens, I have to.
Full credit.
I'll have to
Credit
bring
Judo
you.
Joker.
I'll have to bring you on the show then. If it happens. If it happens, I'll send you a link. You come on the show, and you could, come on the show and stuff. So, but yeah, but yeah, that's hilarious. I hope that happens now. So, all right. So that's anything else you want to say about that? About
No, I just think
What we covered?
yeah, no, I think we're good. Yeah, I like that prediction. I think it would be dead on. I think he's nailed it.
yeah, I hope so too. That would be great and stuff. I would be kicking. I would be writing, and I would be writing my words in capital letters and exclamation points and stuff. So now we're in the now we go to a restaurant, and it's Kim talking to I was trying really hard to remember her paralegal's name. We find I just remember it's Viola.
Yeah.
So she's talking to Viola. She takes her to lunch. They've been hanging out at that restaurant almost every episode that's this
It's like,
season. This
it's
is
like
like
their
a-
office. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like exactly. So this has
Which
been
is
like
sort
a
of funny.
constant.
She's taking a note out of Jimmy's book. It's not the nail salon, but it's just a restaurant working
Yeah,
lawyer working out of a restaurant.
yeah. She buys the clients lunch and stuff usually, and yeah. So Viola's there, and I wasn't getting much out of the conversation and stuff. Like Kim apologized. Is there stuff that was there something really important to take away? All I wrote down was Kim basically apologizes for kind of leaving her in the cold and stuff with Mesa Verde,
Yeah,
and
I didn't get a chance to see that. I was dealing with something here, but I heard in the next scene that it sounded like Jimmy said, "Did you get something out of her?" So I might have missed it, to be
like a
honest. But I
judge,
think
like some sort of judge. I wrote it
judge's
down.
name or something. So I'm sure something happened there, and I just missed it because, to be honest, at that point I wasn't paying full attention to the episode. But I'm
Yeah,
sure
I mean,
something happened there that we're just too dense to see.
yeah, the scene. I mean, they put the scene in there for a reason. The scene's important, so even if it doesn't seem obvious and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
what's the
so
judge? I mean, was it the judge's name that they were talking about post that discussion? Her and Jimmy.
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's that. Now I don't remember why the judge is significant or why they needed the judge's name. So that's, I guess, where I'm lacking in my skills of detection.
yeah. This calls for this was a very interesting little thing. So, but yeah, Viola says she's happy for Kim, and pretty much the scene ends. So yeah, chat. If you got a better insight into it, yeah, just write in the chat, and we'll look at it. We'll address it and stuff. So the next scene, and this is probably some of the meat of the episode. Something you haven't ever seen before. Jimmy goes to meet a client, and the client's name is Mr. H.O. Ward. H.O. Ward. And then he walks in, and it's a boxing rink, and it's Howard's there, and he's like, "Hey, Jimmy, I think we got some bad blood. We need to kind of let it all out of the system." He's like, I rented a rink. I rented a ring. Come on, why not? Come on, let's duke it out. Let's do it, because I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to do and stuff. First Saul tried. I was like, Saul. I feel like, is Saul gonna do this? That's the one thing I was thinking. Like, is he gonna do this?
I don't know. I didn't think he was gonna take the bait at first. And then my initial thought was, which Saul's gonna show up? Saul from man, I forget his name, but I know he can. No, you've seen Nobody, right?
I have not yet.
Oh
I mean,
my
I've
God!
seen trailers. I
You
have
got you
not
gotta
gotten
you
around
gotta
to watching it.
you gotta fix that immediately. But I'm like, is he gonna are those fighting skills gonna come out, or is it gonna be? And I was like, oh yeah, he's got his butt kicked pretty good.
It's just like I can't, because maybe it's because I've only really seen Bob Odenkirk play, like, he was on Seinfeld. He was in, I mean, he's in Mr. Show, obviously. He made an appearance on Arrested Development because David Cross is on Arrested Development, and of course Saul Goodman. And Saul Goodman just always gets his butt kicked. He's always like, he's always just he's like,
Well,
he
I don't know if
doesn't
you
fight back and stuff. And
I don't know if you picked up. Well, that's why it was funny that he's just sort of like, all right, I'll get toe to toe with Howard, because he is basically pretty much the coward in most of those situations. But I don't know if you picked it up. I did get a chuckle out of the guy they had refereeing, just all the eye rolls and just the like, oh, what am I doing here? What are these guys are ridiculous. Like,
because they're
what's the
they're
worst
not
fight I've ever
punching, and
seen?
they're missing each other, and
All these wild
they're
punches.
slow compared to real fighters and stuff.
Yeah, it's just like Hobby's like, what is this? Oh my God, I laughed pretty hard at that.
I've
one.
never boxed either, so I'd be doing the exact same thing.
Oh, me
So.
either. I'd be tired in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, boxing's food. Boxing's tough. So let's what does Judo Joker say? Have a boxing V. Kim versus Aaron, Lalo versus Gus, Goodman versus Ward 2, Mike versus Kai 3. Yeah, we should. Yeah, we absolutely should. That'd be great. And then Tom Forsythe says Chekhov's boxing glove. Someone had to get punched. I agree. Yeah, like if they're gonna show this, if you're gonna set this up, you have to pay it off and stuff.
Yeah,
Same idea.
It was good.
So yeah, someone got punched, and I was like, I was thinking, like, is Jimmy gonna win? Nah, he's not gonna. He's not gonna. He's not gonna win. And
He
that
got a
was. I
few
was just
shots in there. I'm like, is he gonna? Is it gonna? Are they gonna have? There's no way. And then just like that, he lands that uppercut and just floors him. I'm like, yep, that's pretty much what I expected.
Yeah. So yeah, Howard basically says, "Yeah, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of all this. I'm tired of you and stuff. Let's get it out of the system." And then of course Saul is like, "You're crazy. You're crazy." And then they go in the rink. Saul's just dancing around, pretending to be, tough and stuff.
Well, that's
He's
why I
trying to
wasn't
be
sure if we
like,
were gonna get some nobody because it's like that's like his fancy footwork. I'm like, all right, are we gonna get some real? And then nope, it was the
he.
worst fight I ever. A terrible fight.
Have you seen any Bruce Lee films? Have you seen Way of the
Enter the
Dragon?
Dragon. What's that?
Have you seen Way of the Dragon with Chuck Norris, where Chuck Norris is the bad guy? Bruce Lee fights
Oh
Chuck
man,
Norris at the Coliseum. At the
I feel
Coliseum.
I feel like I have, but it had to have been a long time ago.
Well, the it's basically Bruce Lee goes to Italy to work with his uncle and his cousins and stuff, and the uncle and cousins are continually harassed by the neighborhood mafia
Okay.
because that's it's Italy, you're Italian,
Yeah, of
where else
course.
are you gonna find a mafia,
Yeah. Come on.
you know.
Italian
So
mafia. Come on.
yeah, and and they send their goons to like just start intimidate and harass everybody, and Bruce Lee's there, and they start their opening fight, and he kicks the crap out of a couple of guys, and then the final guy starts dancing with his legs and stuff, moving around trying to trick him. He just that's what
Yeah.
it made me think of. Like
Okay.
Saul's being Saul's being
Yeah. To me,
the wacky peon and
yeah.
stuff. That's what it
To
made me
be
think
honest,
of.
I have not watched nearly enough Bruce Lee movies. I need to resolve that. I've seen Way of the Dragon a few times, or I'm not Way of the Dragon, Enter the Dragon a few times, but
The only problem with Bruce Lee films is he rarely gets punched back. Like he's always doing all the punching and kicking,
oh
beating
yeah,
everyone up. Whereas if you watch a Jackie Chan movie, it's like almost a one-on-one,
oh yeah.
even match and stuff. Like they're trying to not hit each other, and they do hit each other, and they get down, they do all these crazy things. I'm starting to think that the Jackie Chan fights are better.
Oh,
I don't know if you'd agree.
I think. Uh, how did he put it? Just movie wise, yeah. I mean, I think so.
And the
Just
fights are
because
like
there's some
20,
back
like
and forth,
one-on-one
and
fight is like 10 to 15
well,
minutes.
and he's doing all these crazy, like fitting into places where he shouldn't be able to fit, and falling off
Yeah.
of buildings, and just all
And that's
kinds of
all pure
crazy
dance
stuff.
too. That's all pure dance
Oh yeah,
choreography.
oh
So
yeah. So there's a lot more spectacle involved in a Jackie Chan fight with the skill on top. Obviously, he's a very talented martial artist. So uh, we've gone off on a weird turn here. We've gone, you know, the worst boxing fight ever, talking about two of the best martial artists ever.
yeah, it just made me think of that. What the way Jimmy was dancing with his feet and stuff, trying to get the moves on and stuff, just came off as fake because he had no idea what he was doing. He was
Yeah.
doing what they were doing, what they do in the movies and stuff, and then he gets beat down by Howard. So I thought that was great. I thought that was awesome. But I want to read this. Tom Forsyth says Howard is basically the positive version of Jimmy. Same talent for people, same interest in the law, but respectable. No wonder Jimmy and Kim hate him. Well, I think Jimmy and Kim also hate him because Howard kind of slipped in without really having to work hard to really build his career and stuff. Because
Yeah, I
his
think there
father
might be
was the
some
one
resentment.
was the one that teamed up with McGill, with Chuck to find HHM, and because of
Yeah,
his connection to his father, that's why he's the second H and
yeah.
stuff.
Well, I think Kim and Jimmy have obviously always felt beneath Howard and felt that he treated them as beneath them.
Well, he
Whether
did. If you
just
watch
yeah.
season one, he did
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Oh
Howard
yeah,
went
yeah.
along with Chuck and stuff,
Oh,
and
absolutely. No, no, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying that's probably where a lot of the resentment probably comes from too.
oh
Besides
yeah,
for what you're saying.
yeah. That's yeah. It's yeah. I mean, we see a lot. We see quite a bit of it and stuff. And really, after Chuck dying and stuff, like then Chuck dying, and he gets and Howard, oh, looks like we lost Prophet the Dragon. He'll come back. We lost after we lost Chuck at the end of season 3. Okay, he's back. Let me click him in. We lost you. Is it something I said? I can
Sorry,
change.
button push, my man. Sorry, we got to get one of those faux pas, and so you guys know that I'm a low tier YouTube person. No, nothing you did for me.
But yeah, yeah. But once again, Howard had something to do with Jimmy nearly getting disbarred, and I think that's another thing that Jimmy didn't forget about. And Howard, after Chuck's death, kind of thought, oh, I guess things are okay, or things are okay with them and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
don't know. It's a big back and forth relationship. I think Howard, at least I felt like it was generally wanted to turn over a new leaf,
yeah,
and they
that's
just
yeah,
weren't and they just weren't willing to do that. So, and I think somebody, especially a man of that intelligence, can only be pushed so far before
yeah.
it's like, all right, I've had enough.
We got 14 people in the chat. Welcome everybody. Yeah, if you're new here, if you see that red subscribe button, hit it. Hit the like button and stuff. And if you're on a computer, if you have a means of writing in the chat, tell us what you think. Tell us what you think of this episode and stuff. Tell us what you think of the season so far if you're new here and stuff. But yeah, welcome. Yeah, once again, everybody, welcome. I really appreciate you guys coming here. I love this show. This is a show. This is one of the only shows I've ever watched from the very beginning to the end, and it's been completely consistently good. And I can't say that about a lot of shows.
Yeah,
So,
even the slow episodes are good. They're
yeah,
slow for a reason. Does that make
to
sense?
build.
It's like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't come out of a Better Call Saul episode and been like, wow, that was a real pooper right there. I could take that hour back and do something else. I've never had that. Hasn't happened yet with the show. So
No, not yet.
very few shows I can say that about these days. Most of the ones I can say that about are shows that are a few years old.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
the only criticism I have, and I might be completely people might disagree with me on this. There are times where I think the show is a little too slow. Maybe because I came off of watching Breaking Bad and stuff. The show is extremely slow. Like I was expecting Saul to get his office much earlier,
yeah,
and Saul to get his lawyer up Cadillac and
it's definitely
stuff.
they take their time, but I think
Yeah.
that's part of the charm is you get some cool angles on shots, and they're not
Oh
in a
yeah.
hurry to get through this
Yeah.
and
Like
that. So,
the cinematography is impeccable.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I think you're right. It's slow, but in a good way. I think they
Yeah.
do it good.
And there's one other thing. There's one other thing I do like, or I don't like. I know why they're doing this, but I feel like I feel like Jimmy and Mike's story should have been a little bit more. Should have been more intermeshed. Excuse me. It felt like there were two. It felt like there were two separate. You felt like you're watching two separate shows
You said
and
Jimmy and
stuff.
Mike.
Yeah, Jimmy and Mike. I would like to see them do more stuff together.
I think now, yeah. I mean, because they were doing a lot up until last two seasons when basically Jimmy, well, hell, since Jimmy's been Saul,
Yeah.
basically passed it over to being cartel guy. I mean, ever since the Desert Save, I don't know that they've really had much going on together since
Yeah.
the
I
money
mean,
pickup.
we'll
So
see. I mean, he's gonna be. I mean, Mike's gonna pretty much be Saul's guy because that's how he's introduced in Breaking Bad. He's like
yeah,
basically
oh,
he acts as he does PI work as well, so
yeah.
he's gonna be a
But
PI
well, and
himself.
I think that's what makes the Judo Joker prediction even the better. I think that puts them right on the collision course. If they think the PI is somebody working for Lalo, Mike could go right to them and say, "You got somebody tailing you. We think it's Lalo's guy. You guys need to watch out." It's a way to get them reintroduced together. So I think that's why the more and more I think about his prediction, I think he's right dead on.
Yeah, I agree. And want to say hello to K2J Extreme. He says, "What up, Nerdporial?" He says, "Long time no see" to Jake D. And then we have Jake D here. Ooh, friends, just drop by to leave a like. May the wings of Nerdporials carry you to good TV shows. That's a very good one, yeah. May the wings of Nerdporials carry you to Better Call Saul. All right. And it's funny. I think Kim comes up with the line, "I fight for you."
Yeah, yeah. I saw. I'm
Because
like, dude, maybe there's more. There's more to this. Kim's just in the background, it's one of those. Maybe she's pulling the strings later, or maybe he's just taking all his. Oh man, I can't find the word. He's just uses everything she said because for inspiration. She's his muse and she's
Yes.
gone. It's it's fun to think about the future of Kim, whether after this show.
Judo Joker says, I think those two stories, and he's talking about based on what I said, Mike and Jimmy's, are about to violently crash into each other. I hope that is true. That's another prediction I
That
hope
yeah.
is true.
Hey, I just said that. Come on, a little credit myself. But I think he's absolutely
Profit.
right. 100%. They're gonna
I so
ram
hope
violently, probably.
Yep. And Magic Ace arrived. What's up, Magic Ace? When Kim says, you know what happens next. Wow, what a teaser about what's to come. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're anticipating Howard's move.
Yeah.
Like they're anticipating Howard hiring a PI to follow them and stuff.
I think they're gonna. Here's a bold one for you. I think they're gonna get Howard killed inadvertently.
Ooh, that's dark.
I
That's
think
dark.
that's gonna. I think it's gonna happen, and it's gonna, and then Kim's gonna be messed up from it. That's my,
You know how I
that's my
feel right
bold
now?
prediction.
You know how I feel that right now? I'm getting chills right now just hearing that. The last time I felt chills like this was at the end of season 4 when you find out that the plant that was used to poison Brock was in Walter's backyard, confirming that Walt poisoned Brock and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I had the deepest chills when I watched that. I don't know how you
Oh, yeah.
felt, but I
Yeah.
I literally said I was by myself and I literally said in low breath, I'm like, oh. And I
Yeah.
was like,
I said,
oh.
ooh, oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you see, I'm getting
yeah.
you see, I'm
there
getting
you go.
goosebumps
Hey,
right now.
all right. Good prediction then. I'm gonna tack that one up. I really
Yeah.
think that I didn't think until this episode that Howard was in danger, but I think inadvertently they may get him into some deep doo doo.
You son, big doo doo this time. Maybe they trap him into a rocket ship and they send him to Naboo and he has to live with the Jar Jar Binks and the Gungans.
That's torturous. He'd rather be dead. I'd rather have a Lalo bullet than that.
Squeeze me. Okay, let's get to Star Wars and stuff. All right, so but yeah, so going back to Howard. So yeah, Howard hires the PI, and basically Howard says, "I want to know everything that Jimmy does and everyone he talks to and stuff." And of course, then the PI guy follows Jimmy, like we talked about before. So that's the end of that scene. So now we're in scene 3, and we're back in Kim's apartment. It's nighttime, and she's outside on the balcony. She's smoking and drinking, and Jimmy comes home. So she's waiting, and Jimmy comes home, and he's like, "Oh man!" He starts because he's Saul Goodman. He has an image to maintain. He wants to look, very political, very lawyerly and stuff, with the hair and the pretty face and stuff. So instead of because he's got marks on his face from being punched by Howard and stuff, he takes some of the cream and starts applying it to his eye and stuff to hide the thing. And this is where Kim's like, "Well, why?" Kim's like, "Why? Why would you do that? You're a fighter. You fight for your clients," and that's where the "I fight for you" Albuquerque comes from, like we said earlier and stuff. So I thought that was it was a great thing.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, that was a good one. A nice little Easter egg, and then maybe foreshadowing.
And Jimmy starts to regret fighting Howard and stuff, and Kim's like, "Well, it's you. It's you. You were going to do this."
Yep.
That was a very interesting response. So.
Yeah, but I think she's right.
Yeah. And of course, the next couple, and then after that, I think that's pretty much the end of Jimmy's stuff. I don't think we do anything more with Jimmy. Nope. Everything.
No, I think that's it.
And this is where we get to the best part of the episode. So.
Yeah.
So we're that same woman who was in the beginning of last week's episode.
Real quick before you get into it, were you did you when they were doing the German game? Did you know that they were what was going on? I had a feeling I knew what was happening when they started speaking in German.
I was like, are they? I was like, my mind was a complete blank. I was like, are they? I was like, for a second, are we in Germany? Why are we in Germany? For some reason, I was thinking Madrigal.
Okay.
I was thinking it had something to do with Madrigal.
Well, because as soon as I saw the German game going, I'm like, I went right back to what you said last week with that people were predicting that Lalo was going to Germany. I'm like, damn man, somebody's got some leaks on this and they're not sharing. because
Yeah, yeah,
that was dead on right there.
that is dead on.
Well,
So,
it's sort of dead on. We all thought, like you said, we didn't. I didn't think he was going to go talk to the widow. I thought they were going to go right after Kai, like you said, but
or the audience is just that darn smart.
yeah.
The
Well, that
audience is just
you
that
know,
smart.
smart TV breeds smart audiences, as we
Yeah,
see from the chat here.
yeah, yeah.
I
This,
think that's absolutely true.
yeah, this show is this show shows, not tell. Magic Ace felt the same way. He thought Madrigal too. I did not.
Fine, take his side. It's okay.
It did not dawn on me that Marguerite would come back. But before we go to Marguerite, we want to talk about Gus and stuff. So I
Oh yeah,
loved
yeah.
how,
Sorry,
yeah, we're back into.
I skipped a whole chunk. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. That was a great. I mean, I can't wait to talk about that. But we're at Gus's house. Well, not quite Gus's house. We're in a SUV. I think it's a CSUV. And the woman from last week who was riding the bicycle, the wife, or at least I think she was a
Yeah,
wife.
yeah.
I'm curious if they were married or if they were just acting. Maybe they were just acting. So
They
maybe they
seem
were
pretty
actors.
natural. I don't know that they. I wouldn't think they were married. They seem pretty just in having a great old conversation and going about
Maybe
their
that was
lives.
maybe they were actors and this was Gus's theater, that house,
Maybe, yeah,
because they're
that's
acting like suburbans, they're saying all the right things,
highly
they're doing all the
possible.
things. I think they were actors hired by Gus to make it seem like that it's just normal people are living
Yeah,
in that house, so that
it's
nobody
possible.
thinks twice.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately, my red house prediction or hope looks like it's going to be false. No Lalo in the red
so no
house.
Lalo in the red house, keeping an eye on Gus and stuff,
It doesn't look like it.
waiting to strike.
Yeah,
That would have been
well, hell,
interesting,
maybe.
but no.
Maybe he's
I mean,
got his crew in there. Nah, I doubt it.
oh, Magic Ace brings up a very interesting point. He says the couple are actually married in real life. Okay, that explains why they seem so natural together and stuff. So that's pretty interesting. But
Yeah,
I want to think that they're actors hired by Gus because everything that Gus does, you'd be
yeah,
surprised what Gus can accomplish. He can make things seem what they're not, and
very method.
that's what
Yeah,
makes this show really entertaining to watch.
it is. Actors or not, it is still pretty crazy. All the things they're doing around them, and they're just holding their conversation. It's just like it's
Normal
crazy.
conversation, despite the fact that all of Mike's guys are like hanging out, being stationed. Like there's one in the frickin' kitchen, one in the basement, one in the corridor. And so what's interesting is the lady pulls into the garage and she opens the back, and Mike was basically hiding in the trunk or the CSUV. He was hiding so that no one could see him and stuff.
Yep.
And Jonathan Bakes is not a young guy. He's like 70. He was born in 47. He's
Well, you
75
know
years
what?
old.
That's why I love him. It's like, God, the acting in this show is so good all around. But it's just like you feel every action he takes. It's like he gets out of the SUV. He's like, you get the, you get the sounds of the, oh God, I was hunched. How long was I in this damn thing for? You feel every pain and from all of them. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and so Mike gets out of the car. He walks into the house. He gets report from that one guy who was, I think it was the same guy that was following Kim in the previous episode.
Yeah, I think so.
And he says, we saw nothing and stuff. And Mike looks at the clipboard. He says, "Oh, who is this? Oh, they did I write down what he
The
said?
bike. He said it was a bike or something.
Yeah, there was
Somebody on a
there
bike
was a biker
delivering
and
something.
stuff. And it was legit. They're literally like leaving no stone unturned. Like they're checking on everybody. Anybody that comes by, they're checking on. Make sure that they're legit and stuff. Because they're leaving no stones unturned with this. So Mike gets report, and then Mike walks to the. So Mike asks the guys like, is he asleep? And the guy's like, no. And then Mike starts walking towards the bedroom, and then you hear scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, and
Dude.
Gus is kneeling in the bathroom, scrubbing with a toothbrush his bathtub.
Well, not just the bathtub, even the grout and like the in between
Yeah.
the freaking tiles. It's like holy, he is freaking out.
Yes, he needs to do that, or he's gonna
He is like the edge of losing it. It's like whoa,
yes.
man, whoa.
It's hilarious. It's just like wow, and it's stuff like that that makes it even more it's stuff like that that makes it even more, makes you anticipate like what's going to happen and stuff. I was thinking, oh, we have to see Lalo. When are you going to bring Lalo in? So they're doing that, and Gus is cleaning the grout with the toothbrush. He gets up, and he's like, tell your men. He's like, we're going out. And for a second, I was like, oh, what's he going to do? Like, is he going to draw? Is he going to try and draw out Lalo? What is he going to do?
Yeah,
And stuff.
I was like, okay, this will be interesting.
And of course, we find out that what was it? So he said we find out that Mike and Gus end up going to the dig, going to the what's going to be the underground meth lab and stuff. And I have a prediction. Once I saw it, thinking about the meth lab, I have a prediction. I don't know if you'd agree with me.
Okay.
Do you know how I think? You know how I think Lalo's going to die?
I'd go for it. I'm not gonna mess
I
it
think
up.
Lalo's going to stumble. Now, this might not sound like a great idea. This is just a theory I have. I think Lalo's going to stumble into the lab.
Okay.
He's going to stumble into the lab, and either two things are going to happen. Either A, they're going to have him fall into an accident.
Okay.
They're going to have an accident occur, like because they bring it up in with what happened to Warner. That's the cover story that they did with Warner. I think they're going to either enact an accident, and because everyone else thinks he's dead, they can just simply, they can say, they could just kill him, remove the body, and that's it.
Yeah.
Or they simply lock him. He gets into the underground. And they lock him in, and he starves to death.
So I think something's definitely. I think whatever's going to happen is going to come to a head in that basement. But I'm sure you noticed Gus. I think Gus' sole purpose for going to the basement was to plant that gun in the cat there. So he does have a hidden weapon. So I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking maybe Lalo's going to drag Gus down there, and Gus is going to end up popping him with his hidden gun.
What's a famous movie about a planted gun? Can you think of a famous movie about a planted gun?
A famous movie about a planted gun.
Yeah, well, there's a planted gun in the movie, and it sparks the turning point of a certain character. Can you think of a movie? I'll give you a hint. Bathroom. I'll give you a hint. Bathroom.
Bathroom. Jesus, what? You're putting me on the spot here. As soon as you say it, I'm going to know what you're talking about. Bathroom, planted gun.
A bathroom, toilet with a chain.
U.S. Marshals? No, that's a different one.
No, it's think 1945.
1945. You're gonna have
New
to
York.
tell me. I don't know.
New York, 1945.
Oh. L.A. Confidential? No,
LA Confidential's in LA, but I think.
You said New York. Sorry, golly, you're gonna have to tell me. I'm not gonna get it. You can be here all night with me guessing.
Okay. This one should give it. This one should give it away.
That's a stunner. L.A. Confidential is not New York. Good job.
This one should give it away completely.
The brain's cranking.
What have I done to deserve this disrespect? You don't even call me Godfather.
Yeah, well, yeah. I would hope that gives it away. The Godfather. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
that might.
I'll be 100% honest. I've seen The Godfather, but it was once a long time ago. I am not a very big Godfather aficionado, so I'm not surprised I missed that one. It's a great movie, but I haven't watched it over and over again. I see it on your shelf there.
I'm sure you're that right above my finger? Yeah. 50th anniversary.
Me. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it once or twice, but I still think my terrible LA Confidential guess for your New York hint was right on point.
LA Confidential. I have to rewatch that. LA Confidential makes me think of LA Noire, the game. The Rockstar game that they made, which is more detective based than GTA and stuff. But yeah, obviously, I need to rewatch. That's a really good movie too.
It is, but obviously, I'm not winning any movie trivia nights with you. I was way off.
Well, I there's a lot of movies I haven't seen yet. Like I still have not seen Good Will Hunting.
Excuse-moi?
See,
you got to solve that, my friend. That is a great movie.
Yeah,
like that is a stellar movie.
Yeah, and there's a lot of movies I own that I still have to watch. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll
there's
watch that with you. That's a great movie.
But yeah, I think that's what's gonna. I think something. Yeah, the showdown. I'm starting to think the showdown's gonna happen in
I think
that that basement stuff.
so. You think Gus is going to use the gun, or you think it's going to be just a plant?
I don't know. It might be a plant. I mean, who knows? The writers might subvert our expectations.
Yeah,
We'll have
yeah.
to see.
Yeah, who knows?
But
Right?
yeah, but I think something's going to happen. It's something. It's going to have something to do with the lab, the underground, the dig and stuff. So
Yeah, I
who
think
knows?
so. I mean, everything's leading there, right? I mean, it only would make sense.
And look at this, Godzillionaire's here. He says,
Oh my
"Notorial,
God.
don't feel bad. I haven't seen Good Will Hunting either."
You don't like watching Will Hunt stuff? No, obviously that's not what it's about. Good Will Hunting's a great movie. One of Robin Williams' best, I think.
Yeah, I have to see more Robin Williams. Robin Williams movies.
Well, the funny thing
one of
about
the greatest
that one
actors
is
ever.
it's straight up. He's not comedy at all. You know, it's another one of those where actor who is known for his comedy roles. He's a man. No comedy in that movie, that's for sure. But we're not talking about Good Will Hunting right now.
Yeah, so I'm
Even though I
gonna
could. But
read the chat right here. So Magic A says, "Was the tile grout clean enough? It was. It was acceptable."
dude, Lyle standing over him, going, "Clean that."
Yeah, clean.
Just a little,
It
get a
is-
Lyle.
It is
That'd be funny.
acceptable.
It's like, Gus, if you think that's good enough, we can move on.
Who is this Prophet of the Dragons? What a weirdo.
Yeah, you're not lying. I think LA's in New York.
Yeah. Judo Joker says Kim appears to be handling the news that Lalo is alive better than Gus. Granted, Gus knows he's the main target. Yeah.
It's absolutely. I think that I think that's absolutely. Gus is freaking.
Yeah.
So maybe that's because exactly that Gus is the focus of his anger, and Kim is just sort of, maybe a target.
Yeah.
But you're right. He's handling it way better.
Yeah, I mean, like Mike literally says, "Hey, you might." He's like, "You're not. You're probably like the lowest priority target and stuff." But we need to. They're like Mike literally says, "We need to cover all our bases," and and of course Mike knows that Kim and Jimmy have dealt with Lalo and stuff. So
Yeah,
like
I'm wondering if maybe Gus has had enough of hiding, and he's just gonna lure him to the basement. He's just gonna put his cards on the table and trap him. Maybe just sort of stop being the rat in the maze.
Judo Joker says, "What I think they buried Lalo in the basement, and nobody ever knew what happened to Lalo Salamanca except Mike, Gus, Tyrus, and Victor. Would certainly add some extra lore to the basement in Breaking Bad." Yeah, that's what I think. That would make perfect sense. I mean, will it happen? We'll see.
Well, how cool would that be too? Because if you in your Breaking Bad rewatches, if anybody, you're like, Lalo Salamanca's under Walt's feet right now, just rotten. That'd be badass.
We're probably gonna see Walt and Walt and Jesse probably in that lab.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be a flash forward. There's probably gonna be a single scene with them, and it would be funny if they did that. And then while they're working, oh, this might be it. This might be the appearance. So we see Walt and Jesse. They're working, Breaking Bad. Maybe the Fly episode. They'll probably make it take place during the Fly episode.
Yeah.
And then they shot at them, and then then the camera will go down, we'll go underground, and then we'll see like a box or something.
Or something.
And this will be the opening of the episode where Lalo meets his demise. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen.
Just Lalo's mustache is left.
and smile. He's gonna die smiling.
Yeah, there
that
you
creepy
go.
smile. Like
That'd be
like the
awesome.
Joker and stuff.
No,
That's what I think is gonna be.
I think, dude, I think the more and more we're talking about it, the more and more it would just add to everything if he is dead under and buried somewhere in there. It's gonna be fantastic. It's what makes the Mets so good. Dead Salamancas.
I will flip if this theory is true.
I think it is. I like it.
Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, so Tom Forsyth has a good point. It'll be contaminated. They don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the because remember the meth is like 99.4, 99.3, 99.4. Well, where's that 0.6% going? Lalo.
Lalo.
We'll just blame Lalo.
Yeah, Lalo. Maybe that's where the fly comes from. It's feasting on Lalo, and that's why they can't get rid of it.
Dude, that would add a lot to the lore of the
No,
fly now.
It's the mortal fly, the Lalo fly.
The Lalo fly. Maybe Lalo reincarnates as that fly, and that's why he's messing with Walt and,
Man, we're getting
and
into
Jesse.
some sci-fi now.
So when Walt and Jesse finally killed the fly, they killed Lalo for good. That's the final battle with Lalo. That
There
fly
you go.
episode. Ryan Johnson subverted my expectations, and he didn't even know it.
Yeah, I know, right? Jeez. I mean, rest in peace, Lalo fly. Man,
Yep.
it'll have his little mustache. Upon close inspection, the
feel
fly's
like-
got a
I
little
feel like
mustache
Red
and a
Letter
big
Media-
smile.
I feel like Red Letter Media now, where we're predicting what's going to happen and stuff. Except we're predicting what's going to happen in a good show in like the new Star Trek,
Yeah.
where they predict stuff. And what's funny is they got it right.
Yeah.
That's because
yeah.
that show's not written pretty well and stuff.
Yeah,
So.
right. Oh,
But
boy.
yes. Oh, but yeah, that was great. Just great talking about that. Kim doesn't know what Lalo is capable of. Yep. And Woke Breaker's here. Hail, chat.
Hey,
He says Picard says he loves Better Call Saul, and that you all love Discovery. Yeah, right. But what's funny was I was watching. Speaking of Picard, I was watching a show called Reacher on Amazon.
oh, good.
Just
Good show.
to be really
Excellent
quickly, there's a character named Picard in that show. He's an FBI agent. I was like, oh my gosh, of all the names you could name a character in a show called Reacher, they named him Picard. Now, I'm guessing that's because Reacher's based off of a book series.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
it is.
maybe this was written during Next Generation.
Yeah, who
stuff.
knows?
I have to look into this now, but Reacher is another good show to watch. Reacher is a
Fantastic show.
good thriller to watch.
Very,
It's-
very good show.
It's a gem on Amazon, and it needs all the love we can give it. So
Yeah, I think Amazon should stick to those types of shows because I like the Jack Ryan stuff too.
well, I mean,
the
that's what
Jack Ryan
happens when
show.
you stick to the source material and
Yep.
stuff, and you don't make changes that desecrate the story. and stuff.
Reacher, I may watch it again. Reacher is an excellent show. I enjoyed it
Yeah.
quite a bit. Yep.
So Judo Joker says Vince Gilligan, why do we have an episode about that fly? Well, now you know. The fly is Lalo reincarnated.
We got it. You heard it here first.
Peter Gould says, trust me. Yep. So okay, let's keep going. So now Gus planted the gun by the digger. He's walking around, he's playing with the cable. I wasn't sure what he was doing there. He's playing with the cable, and that was it. Then he walks back up the stairs. I've noticed Mike's role is getting less and less and less. He was like only in those two scenes,
Yeah.
and they were basically Gus scenes. So
Yeah.
So like Mike's kind of
Mike
I
is a
guess
man
Mike's
of the
story's kind
shadows,
of
right?
done at this point.
Well, he's a fixer at this point, right? I
Yeah.
mean, fixers go fix things and move on. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think Mike's once Lalo's in the picture, Mike's gonna ramp up.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, I would think.
So 19 people in the chat. If you're new
Yeah.
here, welcome. Thank you so much for
Welcome.
coming by. This is I'm loving this final season. So
Yes.
I do this every week. Every time there's an episode, I do this after show, literally right after the show ends and stuff.
Best time to
So,
do it. Fresh in your mind. All the good stuff. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I don't have anything negative to say, which is crazy. In this
Yep,
day
and we
age.
got
I love it.
we got Mike Tackett. Welcome, Mike Tackett. I think this is the first time you've sent a chat here.
Oh, we
This
got
is
money
20
on the table. Money on the table. Here we go.
$20 says Kim is working for legal at Cinnabon in either Kansas or Omaha.
But what's her name? I need a name. Is it you got is it Gene? What? Oh man, what's his Gene? Is Gene what?
Gene
Tarkov?
Takovich.
Takovich.
Gene Takovich.
So is she a Takovich? Is she like Cheryl Takovich?
I don't know. It looked like he was alone. I think he's alone at that point.
I think so. I don't know. We'll see.
So
I
Kim is
like
either
that theory though.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking that whole. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm thinking the majority of the second half of this show is going to be Gene Takovich, and it's going to slowly worm its way from black and white to.
Well, it'd be
color.
nice because it's sort of where they, with El Camino wrapped up Jesse. This way, there's no. We know where Saul ends up after Breaking Bad. We all want to know, like, or where he is. It'd be nice to know where he ends up at the end, sort of like, so all of our characters are wrapped up. I hope you're right with that.
Yeah. There's a precedent with bodies and flies, says Magic Ace. Remember the lady the cousins murdered on the reservation? First you hear the flies, then you see the crawling on the lady's ankle. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lalo
This is-
confirmed in the basement. There it
Lalo's
is.
Lalo's buried
Lalo's in the
underneath the lab,
Lalo fly
and
confirmed.
nobody knows except.
Somebody-
I'm
if somebody
loving
can-
this idea.
If somebody can draw, they need to draw a fly with the Lalo smile and his mustache and just in his hair, like his little wavy hair. Boom, Lalo fly.
Yeah. Oh, but you know it's the thing. There's going to be one character that's going to know that Lalo's buried underneath that thing.
Well, Gus.
Well, maybe not buried, but we'll know that it was dead by Gus.
Yeah.
And we know who we know. You know who I'm talking about. Gus is going to go visit Hector and tell Hector.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Because that's what he does.
Yeah.
He's going to tell
Oh.
Hector to torture him because.
Yeah, I got him. Your last chance. I've taken care of him. He's in my basement.
Maybe that might
Deal
be
with
the
it.
final scene with Gus
It
as he
could
go
be.
visits Hector
That'd
and he
be
tells
awesome.
Hector that Lalo's dead.
I killed Lalo.
and I
He's
killed
in
Lalo
my
and he's
basement.
buried and nobody knows. and
Nobody
stuff.
will ever find him.
And that's
Oh,
the last we
man.
see of Gus. That's the last we see of Gus and Hector in
That'd
Better
be
Call Saul.
savage.
That's what I think. If that happened, oh my
That'd
gosh,
be great.
oh my gosh, I hope this is true now.
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't been this excited in a long time.
I did 2
I
seconds.
haven't
Be
been
right
this
back.
excited.
Yeah, it's all good. Like all the speculation is so good.
It's all good.
Be right back.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to move on. So 19 people. Wow. Welcome. So we are back to Germany now. Now, I was like, Germany. What's going on in Germany? We're hearing the German language and stuff. They're playing. A couple is playing an arcade game, like a trivial arcade game. They're asking about like an astronaut. I forgot what the question was. They thought it was Sally Ride. Well, everybody knows Sally Ride was the first woman in space, but this was a different question. So I don't remember what the question was, but yeah. But a woman at the bar knew the correct answer, and that woman we find out is Margarethe, who is. I was like, Margarethe. I couldn't believe it. I wrote down in all caps, it's Warner's wife. I didn't think we were going to see Warner's wife. I never thought they were going to bring her into the show, and we meet her. And not only do we meet her, look who's sitting next to her. Lalo Salamanca. He's back. And I was like, oh, what is he going to do? He's not going to... once Lalo got in, I got shivers right away and stuff like that. Oh, I hope he's not going to do something to her. That was the first thing that came across. And he's asking her questions and stuff. And she basically tells him about, what Warner did and stuff. And like, she's like, oh, he couldn't tell me exactly, the nature of the work. But he basically, she told him what the lawyers told her, that it was an accidental cave-in. The lawyers came in, they took all the important papers that had something to do with Warner, and Lalo's just being Lalo. He's very nice. He's very dapper. He's listening and stuff. He's very patient.
Question.
And he asks about the workers. Like, did the workers come to the funeral? Did you ever meet them? How were they? And Margarethe is like, I never met them. They never came. They did not make a peep after this happened and stuff. And Lalo's like, oh, that's terrible. What kind of people are like that? And stuff.
Yeah, he's preying on her pretty good.
Yeah, I was, dude. That was tense. That final part of this episode was so tense. I was like,
did you think?
my hand was shaking when I was writing the note. I was writing what was going on and stuff. I was like, oh no.
I'm going to bring out the disgusting male side of me. Did you think Lalo was going to try and hit that?
He might have. I think he.
I don't know. He may have just to get access to the house. Do you think that was the initial plan? It might have been.
I think it was. I think he would have. I think. Well, I was thinking. I was thinking he would have killed her.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that Lalo's done too much killing of people that don't deserve it. I'd have to go look back at that.
Well, he killed the dude in the currency exchange or the travel
Oh yeah, yeah,
office.
yeah. You're absolutely
He just
correct.
busted in on the
Yeah,
other
no,
side and
no,
then he killed him.
yep, yeah, 100%
That's
correct.
why
So,
because
yep,
he's a wild card. You don't know what Lalo's going to
yep,
do.
well,
And then
yep,
he killed those he killed those jerks in the that were doing the moving of the people. I
yeah,
can't think of the transport and stuff.
yeah. He did. Never
The
mind. All right,
trafficking, the dudes
yeah.
that are doing the
Well,
trafficking, he
so I
killed
think
them, but
maybe
that's because he wanted money back. He wanted his money
well, let me
back.
rethink that. I think probably I think he's better off not killing her because that might raise some red flags to his crew. Because obviously, a woman who has no reason to be shot in the head in her home might, raise some bells for the boys if they're paying attention. So
This is a good thing. I didn't think about this, but this is actually something that could have,
yeah,
I thought Lalo was going to bash her head with the acrylic thing.
I
Yeah,
think that
that
yeah,
could have been
that
that
could
might
have
have
been it.
been.
Yeah, that's a very
That's
good point.
that's what makes that's the thing. That's what makes this show so great because you don't know what they're going to do. They'll show something, but then they're not going to. You don't know how it's going to pay off and stuff.
Well, you know what's funny? The last thing I thought he was going to do was go out the window. So, there you
Yeah,
go,
I
subverted.
thought, yeah, because he took out the gun with the side. So here's the
Yeah,
thing. So he walks her home. I was like, oh no, what's gonna? I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen and stuff. And Magic Ace says this too. Now the show doesn't quite confirm this. The show deeply hints to it though that he killed the body double and the wife. But well, actually no, I'm wrong about that. The body double was the guy, the burnt body that the cousins found in the via. So, but we didn't confirm that he killed the. We don't see what happened, but I'm assuming I'm wondering if that'll ever pay off. Maybe that will always be. Maybe it was just that subtle and stuff. I'm curious if they'll ever confirm that he
I,
killed the
I,
wife
I
and
don't. I doubt he will. I don't think there's a point to going back to that. I think you can make your own assumptions.
yeah, yeah. They're probably not going to go back to that.
Yeah, I was
But
way
they
off. He kills whoever. So I think it's better to think that maybe he just not trying to raise any red flags that somebody's interrogating the workers or people related to the workers because he's still
yeah
on the hunt for those guys.
yeah. So so he walks her home. She's like, I'd have you come in, but I have to go to work tomorrow. And he's like, oh, I'm only gonna. He's like, she's asking how long are you gonna be here for? And I knew exactly what he was gonna say to get her to let him in. He's like, oh, I'm leaving tomorrow and stuff. And she's like, I'm sorry, we can't. I'm
Yeah,
not going to do this and
yeah.
stuff. So he's like, okay. He's like, good night, and then he walks away, and we get a far off shot, an overhead shot of the house from across the street,
Yep.
and of course, Wall walks away, and then it crossfades, and then it skips to the morning. We see her walk out of the house, catch the bus, and leave, and then right off then we see Lalo re-enter the frame. So he was like hiding across the street. He was probably hiding
Just waiting.
either in the
Yeah.
yard or the bushes. He was basically, he was out all night and stuff. And he climbs into the house. I think he simply picks the lock, walks in. The dog is barking. He's got away with animals. Like he pets the dog. The dog stops barking. He goes up the stairs. He starts looking through all the things. Goes into the bedroom. Then goes into the office. Looks at the cards. Looks at the thing. I forget, what did he find. I was too concerned with the wife. I was just thinking about the wife coming back and stuff. But did he find something that he needed
Uh, he was. I don't think.
that
I
he
know he was
left
going through
with?
cards. He noticed the plaque thing. I'm not sure what he got out of there, to be honest. Maybe somebody in chat knows. I'd have to rewatch the scene because I'm
Yeah,
trying to think.
because I'm curious if
Hmm.
there's a hint of what his
Because
next
I know
step is.
he thoroughly was going through his paperwork. I don't think there wasn't like an aha moment there. I know he checked the bottom of the acrylic thing. Um, so maybe he's gonna go
Or he
see what was
identified,
made or something.
or he
Or
or did he identify who the like we said earlier? Did he identify who the boys are?
yeah, I don't know that he did. Um,
Because I know they're all scattered. Like some of them are in Austria. I think some of them are in Prague or something, Or no, maybe they're all in Germany. They just all they went to different
Different
airports.
routes, different
Different
routes
routes
home.
to
Yeah,
to kind of throw everybody off.
yeah. Well, many different routes to get to the same country. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think. Again, Uh, I'd have to look at the scene again and see if he found anything. I think you were supposed to take something away. I think the big one was he looked at the bottom who made the acrylic thing, so maybe that's his next stop. See who commissioned it. The boys obviously commissioned the plaque.
yeah,
So maybe he'll get another breadcrumb there. But he's definitely in super sleuth mode here.
yeah. And we have Rough Girl TVs in the house. She says hello, showing some love. Oh well, thank you. Well, thank you for coming by. That's great. I'm gonna read some of the comments really quickly. So so going back, I still think Mike doesn't quite have the same respect for Gus that he had in Breaking Bad. It's close, but I still think that partnership has a bit of growth left. Yeah, I can see that and stuff.
I agree.
I think with Gus handling Lalo, I think might seal the deal and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm not
Maybe
sure what
Mike
else.
takes a bullet for him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be too, or maybe Gus takes a bullet for him.
Or vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, and the Judo Joker also says this. He says, "How good is Tony Dalton? We really get to see him show off the charm, and if we didn't know who Lalo was, it would have been a super romantic scene with Margarete and stuff." Yeah,
Yeah, he's
I
got
agree.
some swagger. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
Lalo is not a nice guy to say the least. Charming, but definitely a socio. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a no brainer right there. And Judo Joker says you could see him looking somewhat regretful when he's attaching his silencer when she gets home. I also think it's a chivalry thing. But I think he's apprehensive. I think he's apprehensive of killing innocents, but will do it.
I
Yeah,
don't, yeah, I think to a point, but like that's what I was thinking too. But then you bring up the money, the check and go place.
yeah,
He didn't really need to kill that guy, but well, self preservation kicked in. I think he's like, well, no witnesses. Um,
no.
but that was my thought too. Was if he can
Mm-hmm.
avoid it, he will. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if he's. I don't know. We may just like Lalo too much and giving him his charm maybe overcoming us.
Yeah. So yeah. So here. So he goes in. He goes in the office, and then she comes back. I'm like what I'm like he's I'm like I was expecting he's gonna find something and he's gonna be like aha, and then that's how the episode
And
ends.
take off. Yeah.
It does not end like that. She comes back, and the dog, she lets the dog out, and the dog basically runs up, it looks up at the stairs, and then she's like, oh, and then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, somebody's in the house,
Yeah.
and then she
Or
goes
something.
up
Yeah.
really slowly, and this was like an Alfred Hitchcock type of moment right here,
Yeah.
where the audience knows that something is up, and the character on the screen is like does not or does
Right.
not quite, but is still kind of worried, and we're like, don't go up there. It's
Yeah.
like a
It's like,
horror movie.
please
Don't go
don't.
up there.
Just
Don't go
don't.
up there.
Don't
Get
go
out of
up
the
the
house.
damn stairs. Take your phone and go. Take
Yeah,
your phone and go.
yeah. Not a lot of villains nowadays have that effect on me on the screen and stuff. Like if the 80s had like all the 80s was like this all the time with their movies and shows. Now with stuff, everything is super predictable, and the villains are treated like cartoon characters. It's ridiculous now.
Yeah.
But this, dude, like
Yep.
this was, I was scared. I was like, oh, he's not gonna kill her.
I thought
It's not,
you.
I
I
don't, I
thought you
because
did.
there's something I do not like to see. I don't like to see in a show where whole families get killed. I like to think that there's
Yeah.
a redemption. This is why I had such a huge problem with Game of Thrones, because they killed Daenerys. I was expecting Daenerys's arc to be an arc of redemption for her family,
Yeah.
and they
Maybe.
just killed her. But then again, then Jon Snow's a Targaryen, but they don't do anything with it. So
Yeah.
it feels like they just they did that, and I just hate the idea of seeing whole families die. It's a really rough
Bloodlines being
thing.
eliminated. Yeah, I don't like thinking about that either. Just
Yeah,
bloodlines
and
being
also
wiped.
the idea of like parents seeing their kids,
Yeah, that
older characters seeing their kids get killed and stuff. Like I
yeah,
watched a movie where I thought it was going to be a coming of age story, but it was no. It was actually about the parent dealing with the fact that his kid got killed
yeah.
and stuff.
That stuff hit. I have three
because
awesome
I've seen,
children. So it's
I
one of those.
yeah,
Hit hard for me.
I've seen
Absolutely.
I've seen parents. Two of my friends had parents that died and stuff. Two of my friends. We're in our late 20s, early 30s. This was a few
Yeah.
years ago. And what was heartbreaking was I went to the funeral, and their grandparents, the parents of their parents that died, were still alive,
That's
and I saw
terrible.
them grieve,
Yeah.
and it I never forget that it happened twice. I saw my friend's mother. My friend's mother passed away, and his grandmother. I saw his grandmother cry over the casket, and then my other friend's wife's father died, and her grandfather cried over the casket, and it's the most chilling, heartbreaking thing I've ever seen
Yeah.
in my life. I just like completely froze.
Can't
I
even
completely
imagine.
froze when I saw that and stuff.
Don't even want to imagine. But yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you.
And so when I see something like that, and you know how like yeah, and then you see this in Lord of the Rings, Two Towers with Theoden, and
Yeah.
see how he grieves. It's
Oh,
like
God,
no
yeah.
parent should ever lose a child and stuff. It's stuff like that. I know we're kind of getting off course here, but it's stuff like that I don't like to see in a show.
It's hard to
really,
watch.
It's hard to watch. I mean, sometimes it's
hard to watch.
necessary, but it's hard to watch. and
Yeah,
stuff.
if it gives something to the story you're telling, great. But just
Yeah.
doing it unnecessarily, and if it's gonna hit you, I think if you have a feeling in your body, it's gonna hit you. It's hit most people,
Yes.
But
So
when it doesn't
two
have to
things.
be done and it's forced is when it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, why did you do that?
Yeah,
But,
so two things I don't like. So I know we're talking about parents losing their kids. That's one thing I don't like to see that does
Yeah.
happen in life. It's
Yeah.
rough. But seeing whole families die. So I didn't want to see anything happen to Marguerite. She
Yeah.
dealt with. I want to see her move on and be happy. It's super duper impossible. But she
Yep.
looked pretty good despite the fact.
She did.
But the fact was, I think he wasn't missing. Like they confirmed it was an
Yeah.
accident. I think they sent the body back. I
think even though they killed him, they did right by her. I think.
Because there's
It
one
seems
dark
like-
element of Breaking Bad that really gets me unsettled, and this was the scene. Remember the scene in Breaking Bad season 5 where Mike goes after Lydia. He breaks into her condo, and he's about to kill her.
Yeah.
And Lydia begs him. She's like, "If you're going to kill me, my daughter has to find me. My daughter
Yeah.
needs to find me." And I was like, whoa. I thought about it. I was like, whoa, this is dark. Like now you think about it, like the implications of because usually when people in the underworld kill someone, they usually take the body and put them in concrete or put them somewhere so that no one could ever find them again.
Yep.
How inhuman is that
Yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah,
Which is what I think is going to happen to Lalo, because
Yeah,
no,
I
they
think
think
absolutely.
the thing is
Because it's
the
gonna be
cartel
torturous
thinks
to
he's
Hector.
dead. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna torture. I mean, what's gonna torture Hector more? I mean,
Yeah.
or Gus may just be like, I don't know where he is. He's gone.
So that's what's weird is that dark shred of barbarism in me.
Yeah.
That's what kind of draws me to liking shows like Better Call Saul, because of that dark.
Well, it makes you
themes.
feel all the feels, and that's
Yeah.
good. I mean,
Yeah,
come
but
on.
not the feels where I cry all the time because of characters,
Sometimes
because of some soap opera type of deal and stuff.
Well, yeah,
Like in new Star Trek.
yeah, yeah. Let's not go there.
No, let's not go there. So yeah, that's yeah. So she goes up the stairs. She goes into the bedroom, and we see Lalo's just like waiting there with the silencer and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she walks into the office. The office is empty. It doesn't look like it's been messed with, but the only difference was the window was open. And that's how the episode ends. And I thought that was I was like,
Whew.
thank
Yeah.
you. I don't
Safe
want
for
anything to
now.
happen
I mean,
to her.
For now, I think she's probably good, but
Oh yeah, she's good. Now, Kai, or if Lalo sticks around and goes after the guys and stuff,
well,
tortures Kai.
Magic Ace said it pretty much best there in his comment there. I think Kai is destined for some trouble.
Okay, Magic Ace, if this happens, Magic Ace, if this happens, I don't know what to. I'm not sure what we should we should do and stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna have
Maybe I
to
should.
you're gonna
I'm
have to
gonna.
reference all the predictions. You gotta make notes of. We got several good ones from Judo Joker and Magic Ace. We'll see. But
That's
I
that's a
agree.
good thing. It's a good thing this is a live stream because I can rewatch the live stream and all the
Yeah,
chats will be intact and
yeah,
stuff.
we've had a few good predictions here that I think
Yeah.
might land. I think if we're reading any of the foreshadowing right. That's the
Yeah.
good thing about this show is there is the foreshadowing in there, but they do surprise you as well. So
Yeah.
sign of good writers.
So, Judo Joker says, I noticed a sticker or something on the bottom of the acrylic. If the workers' names are on there, my guess would be Kai would be next, and Kai is enough of an idiot to leak something. Yeah,
Oh, he'll spill everything.
he's
I
gonna
think
spill.
I think I'd have to look at it again, but I thought it might be like a maker's mark or something like that, like who made it. Um, I'd have to watch it again though.
Yeah, and then games, movies, and comics are us is here. He's like, I like researching things online about wild animals. For example, turns out the female koalas mate with different each year. Yeah, I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, but welcome. Thanks for coming by.
Promiscuous koalas, dang
Dang
you.
koalas, yeah. They're freaking they're Australian koalas. Koalas are Australian. Magic Ace says definitely Kai will spill his guts in more ways than one. Yeah, I'm worried about Kai now. I mean, the last time we saw Kai, Mike punched him in the face because Kai was like, yeah, Warner didn't understand. He deserved what he got, and Mike, being in a total guilt trip, just punches him and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's when the other German guy, the one that says Warner's better than you, or Warner's way better than you'll ever be, and Mike agreed with that. Mike did not punch him because
that comment
what he said was
probably
true.
hurt Mike more than anything right there because it was right.
Yeah.
It was true.
And he knew it was right because and that's how season 5 is. The first half of season 5 was Mike basically drinking and picking fights with young gang members and stuff because he wanted to die, and he yelled at his granddaughter and stuff, and now the Stacy doesn't want him. Stacy wants to keep some distance from him because of what he did and stuff, because she brought up his son stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, and what makes it even what makes it even better was that even though Mike was trying to kill himself, Gus had people following him anyways. I'm guessing Gus always has people on each other and stuff. So Gus had people on him, and they found him, and they sent him to Mexico. They had that one doctor that saved Gus's life in season 4 of Breaking Bad. He basically saved, because I think Mike got stabbed in the stomach or something.
Yeah, he saved Mike when Mike was trying to basically commit suicide by...
And Gus is like, you are... Like, Gus, this is basically Gus. Gus is without saying it. Gus is saying without saying. He's like, Mike, you are mine.
Yep, pretty much.
But he doesn't say it that way. He just says, you know what? I know you're at a crossroads and stuff, and you can make a decision. And he kind of shows the fountain that was for Max, and of course Max was the his partner and stuff.
Yeah.
And potential lover, do you think? Potential lover?
Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's
They make fun of him.
Doesn't matter.
Hector they make fun of him. So.
I think it could go either way, and either way I'd be fine with.
Because I mean, it's they don't say it, but the way Gus acts and stuff, it's like you lost a lover and stuff.
Yeah,
it
feels that way. But
there's like a different level. There's a different level to losing a lover to losing.
Well, I mean,
he's
basic. I mean, he's almost. Yeah, I mean, his whole motivation for his war against the Salamancas is Max. So to go to that length,
long game.
Yeah, to go to that length to get revenge. I think it's probably safe to say they were in a relationship. But if they weren't, I wouldn't be upset either. So that's one of those things. It's good either way. It would make sense either way. Good friend, lifelong friend, or partner. Either way, it works.
Judo Joker says, I took a screenshot of my Lalo prediction to brag about on Reddit in the future. I have to use Reddit one of these days. I just don't know how to use it and stuff. I have an account and stuff, and
I don't know.
I've tried to put stuff in, but it never gets responded.
Reddit,
and stuff.
my Reddit experience has not been the greatest. They nuked White Cloak, saw me. White
Cloak's from Wheel of Time.
Yeah, it was the the safe haven for people to say how they actually felt about it without being banned, and it got nuked by the admins. So, I don't think that'll be a problem for this show. So probably the Better Call Saul Reddit is probably a good place to hang out. I would think it's just a message board, dude. Easy peasy.
Yep. So I'm thinking now that with everything that we talked about, I'm guessing Lalo is not going to kick the buck in episode 7. I think Lalo
He's
is
got a lot
going
to do.
I think episode 7 is when Lalo is going to. He's like, I am going to. That's when he's like, we know he's going to go after Gus.
Yeah,
And that's
agreed.
and it's going to leave us hanging.
Yep.
And I think he's going to die within like 2 to 3 episodes into the last half and
Yeah.
stuff. And I think
We'll
the last
see.
3
Yeah, I'm listening.
episodes 11 through 13 will be all Gene Takovich episodes.
Yeah, I think probably I'm hoping by the end of this part of the last season, all storylines will have converged and we can move forward together.
Yep,
That's
I
my
agree.
hope.
That's what I think. So, any other predictions? Any other final thoughts? Anybody in the chat? Oh, by the way, Daga Outlaw's here. He says, "Hey, what's up? What's up?"
What's up? Solid, another solid episode. Acceptable.
It
Definitely
was acceptable.
acceptable. Yes.
It is up. It is up to Los Pollos standards.
Yeah.
I'm doing a terrible Gus. I'm doing a terrible Chilean accent.
Hey, you're better. You're brave enough to do it. I won't even touch it, my friend.
But yeah,
no,
Giancarlo Esposito is such a great actor, and I feel
is.
like his role in The Mandalorian, he's wasted in The Mandalorian. Like he could be he could be such a great villain in The Mandalorian and stuff.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I don't know. He's fantastic. They're all fantastic.
yes, they are, all of
Yep.
them.
Yep.
So,
yeah. I don't
Any
know.
other?
Man.
So any other? Any
I
final
don't know. I think
thoughts
we
or-
got it all out.
Yeah.
I still would love to, and it sounds stupid. I'd still love to see something come of that red house. I don't think it was just.
You think it's going to pay off? Do you think
I
they're going
think
to?
I hope. Like it sounds stupid with everything else we've got going on. I want to see that red house pay off somehow. I don't think
Maybe
it's
they'll
just a
play
red
the
house.
song "Something Stupid," and we'll see Jimmy, and then we'll see the red house, and then maybe Lalo breaks into that house, and
or
maybe
something. I don't know.
maybe maybe he sets up a sniper nest there. Maybe
I
he
want the
wants
red
to
house
snipe.
to have its due.
Yeah, and he keeps an eye on the house and stuff.
Yeah.
And he sees Gus sneak out, and then he follows Gus to the to the lab, and then after that, then he goes into the lab, has a one-on-one fight with Gus and stuff, and then Gus shoots him, and then they bury him underneath the lab.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. We want Lalo
Yeah.
in the basement. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a one-on-one fight. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yes, sir. I'm ready
So-
for it.
But yeah, so Judo Joker says I'm growing more and more convinced this season that Kim is behind the scenes somehow in this. You know, I'm starting to think so too.
She's
and in Breaking
pretty.
Bad.
She's yeah, maybe. I don't know. She is. She's
But
cool as a cucumber right now.
I
seems
think
like.
they're divorced. I think they're divorced by Breaking Bad because he mentions 3 divorces, and at this point in the story, he's only had 2 divorces.
Yeah.
Kim's his 3rd wife, so they get a divorce somehow. I don't know if it's amicable or if they go after each
Oh,
other.
it could be as simple as something here puts her in direct danger, and they just decide, you know what, it's safer to
be away from
split.
me.
We can still,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Maybe.
Or
I mean,
maybe it gets to her so much that she just leaves him, decides to
Maybe.
leave him. And he's
Yeah,
like,
that's
"What's
possible,
going
too.
on? What did I do?" And she's like, "Oh, Lalo's alive," and leaves. And that's why he's scared of Lalo in the beginning of Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. He's
And
like,
Nacho.
Did Lalo sent you?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't me. It was Ignacio. So, but yeah, so so chat. Thank you so much. If you haven't, if you're new here, hit that red subscribe button underneath the video frame.
Yeah, we were up to 21 at one
hit the
point.
thumbs up button.
We were
and
up to
stuff.
21 at one point. It was awesome.
Yeah, I know, it was crazy. Yeah, thank you guys for coming by. This was great. I love doing these after shows every week. I love talking about the episodes because, like I said in previous streams, they didn't have Talking Saul on every week on AMC. Remember, Talking Saul was,
Oh, yeah.
it was like a spinoff of Talking Dead that Chris
Yep.
Hardwick from Nerdist would lead every episode. The
Yep.
ones that he did were really good for especially seasons 3, and I think he did season 4, but they didn't do season 5.
Right.
Which was disappointing. So I had to go to find other YouTubers that talked about it, and there weren't a whole lot that talked about it. I mean, there was there's Pete Varley who does it. There's Pete Peppers, not Pete Varley, was it John Varley or something? I forget his name. But there's Pete Peppers, there's Vivid Kiwi, and there's a few others that I talk about too. That there's the Take is another great channel. They do podcasts. They're probably doing one right now, same time I'm doing this.
Right.
So yeah. So there's there's a lot of great channels out there and stuff. So
For sure.
we got a new chat from Richard Prono. He says there's not many episodes left, and I believe I believe it is going a little too slow the past few episodes. Besides Nacho's death.
It's been slow. I don't know. We're built like they got a lot
really,
to fit in, but I mean,
yeah.
there's what are they doing? I think what it said at the end was there's one more episode in the 2-part season finale, right? So you got that, and then you got whatever the second half of this season is. So I agree. I did feel, especially this one was a bit slow. Not to say that I didn't enjoy it, but yeah, this one was a little slow. I'm with you. I agree.
I really want them to get this. I really want them to get this Howard stuff done.
Yeah, we got to ramp it up here a little bit
because I want to know what they're going to do after the Howard stuff.
Yeah,
so.
Agreed.
Oh, and look who's back! I haven't seen you in a few weeks. Andrew Cannonen. What's up, Andrew? How you doing? It says Bob clearly detested the after show and didn't try to hide it. Yeah. Oh, the Talking Saul. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I don't think. Yeah, I remember it was actually Peter Gould. It was Vince Gilligan, Peter Gould, Jonathan Banks. I think they got Michael McKean on video or on Zoom and stuff, and they got Ray Seahorn and stuff. I think he did do it. Yeah, he did. He yeah, like when they were doing like the announcement and stuff, Odenkirk was the first one to walk off the stage. Once the thing ended, Odenkirk walked off the stage. I think it was like a panel for the final season and stuff. So yeah. Did you watch that where they were talking about they had like this little panel a few months right before the show started?
I didn't like the season or the whole show.
No, the beginning of they had an opening. They had like an opening premiere, and I think they had a panel after that, or they.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Or they had a panel going on talking about the final season, and they were all sitting down there. Peter Gould, Jonathan Banks, all the actors, and I think Vince Gilligan was there too. And the moment they ended the thing, Odenkirk got up and ran out and stuff. He was in his sneakers and he just kind of ran out. He was wearing his hat. He just ran off the stage right away. So
just ready to go.
I'm guessing he doesn't like to be on. I guess he doesn't like to be on panels and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it if that's his reaction. But
yeah,
or maybe he's just in a hurry. Who knows?
Yeah, Magic Ace says, "Hey, we got to have valleys to get to the peaks." That's right. You have to build it up because it's not going to pay off if you just do everything. I mean, once again, look at New Trek for great examples of bad writing. So Andrew says Lalo did not wear gloves because he wasn't expecting to do anything beyond theft. I was curious if he was wearing gloves because I thought he was wearing gloves for a second.
I didn't think he was.
Okay, sure which means if he snuffs her, he would have to burn the place down. So yeah, okay, that's actually a very good call. If that's the case, then that's a very good call. Then so yeah. But once again, I think Better Call Saul is the smartest audience and stuff. He says it's his MO for destroying evidence. What he did with Hector back when they took the Bell into the travel agency last season doesn't wear gloves, just does some arson. Yeah, exactly. You're right. You got that right on the money. And then he also says it was part of the implied threat when he barged in on Jimmy and Kim touching their fishbowl. Just a question of if he can avoid that since Gus would hear about a house fire and make deductions. Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I thought he was just doing that to be like kind of intimidating. That's kind of how I read into that. It was just like he was playing around. He was just touching everything because I think it was just like a very subtle intimidation tactic without trying to look intimidating and stuff.
Yeah, I was intimidated. So whether that was his intention or not.
I was tense the whole freaking time. It was probably the tensest scene in the show.
Absolutely.
He says closing the window makes it easier to do so and deal with the consequences, but if not, she'll also inevitably notice the missing item and possibly have the police get involved and look for prints. Yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen though. I think we're done with her and stuff. She lived and stuff. So, But yeah, I can't wait till next week's episode, and I think they have the names of the 2 episodes. Let me look what the name of the next episode is. It's the next episode is called Axe and Grind, which sounds kind of doesn't sound very
Yeah.
Okay, so the next episode sounds like this is going to be stuff is going to go down.
Yeah, it sounds like
not,
it.
not for the good. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think
And-
you're right.
And then episode 7 is called Plan and Execution. So
Yeah. Ooh,
something
boy.
is something's gonna resolve itself in episode 7.
Absolutely.
Will it be Lalo? Who knows? I don't think so. I think it's gonna have something to do with Howard.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Or it could be both.
Accidental Howard death. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. Done more predicting in this episode for this stream than I
that's
think
why
all
it's
the
fun.
streams combined and stuff.
That's why it's fun, man. We'll have to have a counter.
It's like it makes me think of, I was doing a Star Trek Deep Space Nine stream yesterday with a buddy of mine, and we were talking about the character Garrick, who lies all the time and stuff. And he says, well, you know what? There's the truth, but then, people just use the truth as an excuse for a lack of imagination. I love that. And so if you haven't watched it, if you like Deep Space Nine, if you like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, I did an episode about it yesterday. It's called Trekporial, best top 5 episodes of Elam Garrick and stuff. If you watch Deep Space Nine, if you're not, that's fine. But yeah, once again,
I'll just
everybody.
watch your video game streams, man. I watch
That
you
too.
play
I'm
some
playing
Final
I'm playing Final Fantasy 4 right
Heck
now.
yeah.
The Pixel remaster. So
Yeah.
that game is
still
30. That game came out 32 years ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into
It
buying
was like
that,
a
man.
launch title for the Super Nintendo and stuff. So
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah. But yeah, everybody, thanks so much for coming by. Do you have any last things you want to say? You want to plug
No,
yourself?
everybody was great, man. There was once again so many good comments and predictions from the chat. Thank you guys so much,
Yeah,
Magic
thank you.
Ace and Judo Joker, as always. You guys have been fantastic, along with last comments by Andrew Cananan. Is it? I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but you guys are always so. It's nice to be able to just sort of go over the show and then interact with what you guys think and things we've missed. So it's a pleasure as always. Like you said, smart shows breed smart audiences, and I think we see that here every day that we do this. So.
Don't you have a channel, Steve? Don't you have a channel?
I do sort of. I've been neglecting it lately because life is crazy. But mostly, Wheel of Time based. Prophet of the Dragon. It started with Wheel of Time. I cover the debauchery of the source material, and going to be doing some more fantasy stuff and. Yeah, so just having fun meeting people like you, sir, and Salty Text C and Kyle over there and Zach's and everybody. It's been a pleasure getting to know all you guys, and just doing it for fun, trying to hit 1,000. So we'll see if we get to 1,000.
You're getting close, man. You're getting close. You're gonna
I'm
get
getting
there.
there. It would be help if I actually made a video. So
Yeah. So should the audience subscribe to your channel?
I would love if you guys subscribed. If you like Wheel of Time, especially, good comment, bad comment, opening my mind to something else. I wish it was something I loved, but we're gonna be exploring other things too here eventually.
So everybody subscribe to Prophet of the Dragon. I think the link should. Hopefully the link is in the description. So yeah, everybody
and hopefully
give him
here next Monday
give him,
too. This is fun. So
yeah, give him a sub if you're interested in stuff. So yeah, and of course I have to address this. So Magic Ace says great show, thank you. And Magic Ace sent a super chat. I think it's a super chat, $1.99. Well, thank you so much. I definitely. Yeah, I'm grateful that you guys are coming and enjoying these shows and stuff. That's the point of this, is to provide something that I felt was lacking when I watched the last season. So now that I have my own channel, I wanted to kind of fill in that role and stuff, fill that hole in my heart. And I'm not even an addict. Well, I'm addicted to food and stuff, but that's it. So
Yes,
I filled that hole in another way. So, and of course, Brian Skate is here. He was at my Deep Space Nine thing yesterday. He's a big Deep Space Nine. He says, what's up? He says, I don't watch Saul, but I'm just dropping in for support. Well, thank you. I mean, that's well appreciated and stuff. That's my job here is to make sure you guys are entertained and enjoying, the conversation and stuff. I've had so many conversations with friends that I felt are worthy of, being discussed online and stuff. So I had my buddy on yesterday, and that was basically a conversation me and him had in the car. I'd be driving him home and stuff, and we'd be talking about Star Trek and stuff.
There you go. So I think that's the best content sometimes.
It's very casual and very very cool and stuff. So, but yeah. So, for me, I'm working. I mean, I do video projects. My project I'm doing right now is Super Mario 64 retrospective, because I'm also a big Nintendo fan. I love Mario and Zelda games.
Very cool.
I do Thursday chats, sci-fi chats and stuff. I'm actually covering Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the new Alex Kurtzman joint show that's trying to reboot the original Star Trek, but starring Captain Pike and some of the characters from the original Cage episode, the original pilot, before Captain Kirk and stuff. So I'm covering that show, and because they brought in Day the Earth Stood Still in that episode of Strange New Worlds. I'm actually going to go and talk about Strange New Worlds, or not Strange. I'm going to be talking about The Day the Earth Stood Still on Thursday, the original one, the 1951 Robert Wise classic. So if you're interested in the science fiction, I'm going to make the thumbnail and the studio, and it should be the video should be up for waiting and stuff. So yeah, so check that out. And and I'm playing Final Fantasy IV. That's my gaming stream. So that's what I got going on. So yeah,
gonna have to get in on some of that Mario and Zelda content, man. Love those games.
Magic Gate says, don't watch Saul. Blasphemy. And Brian's Gate says, I tried, it didn't grab me. Well, you know what? You should watch Breaking Bad first, then Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is a very good show. It's got the best characters, in my opinion, from Breaking Bad. So
yeah,
it pays off. If you think it's one of the few good shows out there. One of the last good shows. They care about continuity, and usually those ideas, the things pay off. Like I said, things pay off. Like they care about what the audience is doing and stuff. They care about what the audience. They care about the audience. They don't treat the audience like idiots and stuff. And the characters are just great. Like we have the greatest. And the acting is great. The cinematography is great. It's all good and stuff. So yeah. And he says, I absolutely love Breaking Bad. Saul just didn't do it. Well, yeah, it's a slower burn, but it's definitely worth a watch. I'd say give it another chance if you can and stuff. If you. Yep. I would not lead you wrong, Brian's Gate. I would not lead you wrong. My name's Brian too.
Well, there you go. Brian's got to stick together, right?
Exactly. So Brian's Gate says, you are a sad, strange little man. I pity you. Oh, don't be mean. Don't be mean to Brian's Gate. Brian's Gate's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's just got a different opinion. That's all it is. But Tom, I'm grateful you're here too and stuff. So, but once again, everybody, this was a great stream. I can't wait for next week. I can't wait to do this again. I'm probably going to bring a buddy of mine on episode 7 as well. I might even bring. I'm thinking maybe bring one more guest next week. I'll have to figure that out and stuff. And that's what I'm up to. And let's just say, everybody, thank you so much once again for coming by. Stay nerdporial. And may the wings of Nerdporials carry you to the next episode of Better Call Saul. I'm fighting for you, chat. And and other than that, everybody have a great night.